Good afternoon, 8th graders. This is going to be our notes on intercepts. So go ahead and write that at the top. You actually don't have to worry about writing this because you guys don't have the same books. So the page number of the notes is 41. Put that in the bottom right. And today we're going to talk about intercepts. So quick little definition. So go ahead and write that guy down. Pause here if you want to for a second. And the idea here with the x-intercept is that when you're looking at a graph, no matter, except for horizontal lines, it's always going to cross the x-axis. Like this is the x-axis right here, right? The horizontal one, the one that's flat. So this line right here intersects the x-axis at that point. So that's your x-intercept for this. For this line, for this linear relationship, there's an equation that goes with this line. And for any single x-intercept for any line, if you write out its coordinates, the y value will always be 0 because it will never go up or down from 0 for y. So y is the second value, so that's always 0. And then for this one, it falls at 3 for x. This is an important idea. This is really key. That there's 0 for y, always for the x-intercept. We're going to have to use that in this lesson on another sort of problem. So try to memorize that. 0 for y at the x-intercept. And just like there's an x-intercept, there's also a y-intercept. So if you want to pause and go ahead and write this down, do that. And it's pretty much the same idea. So right here, wherever the line crosses the y-axis, which is the vertical axis right here, y, that's called the y-intercept. So for this guy, it was here. And just like y is 0 for the x-intercept, x is 0 because we're not moving left or right from 0 for x. X is always 0 for the y-intercept. And this one was at 2y. So I'm going to draw another quick line just to kind of illustrate what's meant by this. So say instead I had this line right here. That y-intercept, let me move it a little higher so it falls on there. It's a little better. Okay. So this one falls on -2 for the y-intercept. So it would be 0, -2. 0 for x, -2 for y. And for the x-intercept, it falls on 1 for x and 0 for y. So that's how, so like, this is the x-intercept because it intercepts the x-axis, and this is the y-intercept because it intercepts the y-axis. Okay, so go ahead and write down this problem and read it to yourself. And this is our steps to do this problem. You first find the x-intercept. And the way you do that, like we set up here for x-intercepts, the value of y is always 0. So all we have to do is put in 0 for y. So see our equation here? Instead of writing the y, we're going to put a 0. So I'm going to write this equation. 2x plus 3, and then instead of putting, so this is step 1. Instead of putting y here, I'm going to put 0 for y. Because whenever y is 0, the value of x will be its x-intercept, just like we saw up there. Now, anything times 0 goes away, right? So it's 2x equals 6. So x equals 3. Now, the y equals 0 that I just put here goes with the x equals 3. So this is going to be the x-intercept. This is where the line is going to cross the x-axis at 3 for x. And then the same thing with the y-intercept, except it's backwards. Instead of, we're going to put 0 for x. So x equals 0 because it's at the y-intercept. And then we go from there. So same idea, 2 times 0 cancels out, so y equals 2, because you're going to divide by 3. So y equals 2 when x is 0. And then we can graph this. Now we have 2 points. And the reason this is one of the easier ways to graph things is because when you put in 0 for x or y, it's usually going to just do this thing where we can like x out something, and it's a lot easier to solve that equation once you do that. You don't have to like subtract anything from both sides. You usually just have to divide by whatever the coefficient is on the x or the y. Okay, so we have our 2 points here. I'm going to make a little graph. So I can do it like this, I think. It doesn't have to be a very big graph. Okay. So that's my y, that's my x. So like here we have our x-intercept is 3, so 1, 2, 3 for x. Our y-intercept is 2, so it's up here. So that is our graph. Then we can draw it. 2 lines means we have a graph, and as you can see, it's linear. It makes sense it's linear because there are no exponents. All right, so that's pretty much it. Write down this last example, and you're going to do it on your own. It's the same exact thing. You need to find the x and y intercepts by plugging in a 0 for x first. That will get you the y-intercept. Be really careful about keeping that negative sign on the 3, though. And then to find the x-intercept, you plug in 0 for y. All right, see you later.